Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast where we teach English through movies. I am Anas.
And I'm Jeremy. Today we are going to talk about one of our favorite topics, movies. But we're not just going to chat. We're also going to explain some useful vocabulary and grammar along the way.
Exactly. So, let's get started. Jeremy, what was the last movie you watched?
I recently watched Inception. It's a fantastic movie directed by Christopher Nolan. You know the one with dreams within dreams?
Oh, Inception. That's a great choice. The concept of a dream within a dream is really fascinating. By the way, let's explain the word concept.
Sure. The word concept means an idea or a principle. For example, the concept of inception is based on exploring the subconscious mind through dreams.
Right? And it's a noun, which is important to know because nouns are the names of things like movie or idea.
Exactly. Now, speaking of nouns, let's talk about the plot of the movie. The word plot refers to the main events of a story, movie, or play, and it's another noun.
Yes, and in the plot of Inception, the main character, Cobb, is an expert in stealing secrets from within the subconscious during the dream state. Pretty cool, huh?
Definitely. Speaking of Cobb, the character's name is an example of a proper noun, which means it's a specific name of a person, place, or thing. Proper nouns are always capitalized, like Cobb, Inception, or Christopher Nolan.
Good point. And while we're on the subject of grammar, let's talk about verb tenses. In movies, we often discuss what happens in the past, present, or future. For example, you said, I recently watched Inception. What tense is that, Jeremy?
That's the past tense because I'm talking about something that happened before now. The verb watched is in the past tense.
Exactly. And if you wanted to talk about it in the present, you could say, I am watching Inception, using the present continuous tense. And for the future?
You could say, I will watch Inception, using the future tense. It's important to know these tenses because they help us talk about when things happen.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about the word fascinating. You said the concept of inception is fascinating. What does that word mean?
Fascinating is an adjective, which means it describes something. It means something is very interesting or captivating. For example, you might say, this movie is fascinating, which means it really grabs your attention.
Great explanation. And notice how we use adjectives to describe nouns. In fascinating movie, fascinating describes the noun movie.
Exactly. And that's why adjectives are so important in English. They help us give more information about the things we are talking about.
So true. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap of the vocabulary and grammar points we discussed today.
Sure, we talked about the words concept, plot, fascinating, and how they are all nouns or adjectives. We also covered proper nouns, verb tenses, and how to use adjectives to describe nouns.
Perfect. Thanks for listening, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something new. Don't forget to watch movies in English to practice what you've learned.
And if you have any questions or movie suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. See you next time.
You mean see you in the shadowing section? As we still have work to do.
Really? Okay, let's go. But what does shadowing mean?
The shadowing technique is a language learning method where learners listen to native speakers and repeat what they hear as quickly as possible. The goal is to improve various aspects of speaking and listening skills. Jeremy, what was the last movie you watched? Jeremy, what was the last movie you watched?
It's a fantastic movie directed by Christopher Nolan. It's a fantastic movie directed by Christopher Nolan.
I am watching Inception. It's a good show. I am watching Inception. It's a good show. Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. What about this movie? Did you like it? What about this movie? Did you like it? What is your favorite movie? What is your favorite movie? I recommend this movie for you to watch. I recommend this movie for you to watch. Jeremy, what was the last movie you watched?
It's a fantastic movie directed by Christopher Nolan.
I am watching Inception. It's a good show.